Hi, and welcome to Fabric Bias. It is July 2025, and while I was making these bags here, I came across some scraps. These are all scrap busters here. I came across some scraps that were too small for this size pattern, and so I was thinking, I could just try to shrink down that pattern, and I stuck it back in my scraps thinking, no, just set that aside for a minute, but I couldn't get it out of my head. And so I did actually shrink the pattern down. And I made all the pieces for it because I was doing it on the computer and just playing, avoiding probably something, but it's just playing. I went ahead and made it, the pattern. So I'm back to working on this, but in a much smaller bag. And I actually already took the steps to cut out all my interfacing, even though I hadn't pulled my fabric back out again. And so now I'm going to go ahead and make this in a smaller version, in this size version, this in a smaller version here. And so I know this fits because I actually took the measurements of these pieces to shrink this down. So now I do have on this one, I'm only going to be able to use one of these pieces because I want it to go in this direction, and it just barely fits because I wasn't paying attention to. And I also need a piece for the flap. So I'm going to be able to make one bag out of this right here as my lining. It does fit. I already tried it there. And then I decided, so I want to just, I'm trying to sew right now for my friend, and it's really for her daughter. And so I wanted to mock up a couple bags. So that bag, definitely, I think she'll like that. But I thought I would make it also, I have this scrap here. And I thought I would make another one, a second one out of this here. Now, I'm not going to use, I have this big piece and my pattern clearly fits, but this is directional fabric. And I don't want it to be, it goes like this. I want one side to be upright and one side to be upside down. So it actually going to use instead my half piece because it actually fits perfectly on this strip, and this excess strip that I have will make the entire bag. So this is going to be my lining. My objective here was just to use scraps, and it's okay. I think I like it. It was the best piece of scrap that I had to make it work, and I have a big enough piece that will fit the body piece, so I won't be piecing that one together. But this looks like it's with the fabric here, and it will fit the body because this is doubled up. I need two pieces of this and I need two pieces of this. So it's going to work perfect for this. I just have to be careful. And if I make a mistake, I'll have a little extra which way I have this going. So because this is going to be the up part of the bag, because this is the box. That's the box. I have to make sure that I place this way. And I can do this with it folded in half because this will be the right side as well. And on the flap, I want the flap so that the dogs, when it folds over like this to close, I want the dogs facing up. So I'm going to go with the flap in this direction on the fabric. So I'm excited about that on that. So I'm actually going to make two of these miniature, what won't be a pencil case anymore because unless you have a really, I guess, little, when you wear your pencil down, it will fit. But yeah, miniaturized pencil case, miniaturized snap flap case, I think. I'm not sure on that. So, so I have to go cut out some more interfacing because I was only planning on doing this one bag, and now I'm going to do two. And my timer's telling me it's time to go. So that's not for laundry. I actually have to go run an errand. All right. So this is what I'm going to be working on next. And I also was on YouTube this morning. Sorry, Alexa, stop. On YouTube this morning, I found another bag that I want to mock up so that I can take, I'm going to see her on Friday. And so I want to take a couple mock-ups that she can take to her daughter and say, hey, what does this bag look like to you? I mean, they won't be in maybe the super cutest fabric, but I'm trying to do it in some nice fabric, and then I will make it in a different fabric if she likes the design. If she doesn't approve the design, I might as well not make the bag anymore. But it will be a nice looking bag either way. So I just want to get her daughter's approval for the bags before I start sewing some of them up. and her approval, of course, too. Okay, so I'm going to go, let's see, that timer was early. I'm going to probably go cut out some interfacing, and then I'm going to go run my errand after I reset my alarm. Okay, back in a flash. Ta-da, here they are. I think they came out cute. Not the smallest batch I've ever made, definitely, but it's super cute. So here's the original smushed in its bag. So let me show you what this one looks like if I match it up kind of there. You can see how much bigger it is here and here on that one. But yeah, I like how this came out. Nice because, again, I was working with just a small piece of scrap, so I designed it to fit that scrap and brought it down. So I did make a mistake. Here, my seams didn't quite line up, so I'm off with the seam allowance adjustment on either, well, got to be the side seam, right? Because generally there's no a base seam. So right here I'm off a little bit, so I have to adjust the pattern for that, figure that out, but that's okay. I mean, clearly it works out fine. You just move in and do a deeper seam to make sure you catch all of that in there. But let me show you the inside. There you go. And here's this guy. And here you go. Not bad from scraps. You can see you can put the tab, the fabric loop going this way or this way. It's just personal preference, doesn't matter on that. So there it is. All right. So there you go. I hope you like them. I hope that wherever and whenever you're at, you're having a great time. And thanks for watching.